Good evening, class. This is Dr. Mike, IT 505, Core Technologies. Today I'm going to talk about Module 1, specifically the final project. Okay? Now, the final project is not due in Module 1, but there is a link that talks about it. So, let's briefly talk about this because it's actually a pretty big project, but fortunately you will complete it over the course of several weeks throughout this course. So, to learn more about the final project, log into our class in Brightspace and go to Module 1 and scroll all the way down. You'll see a section titled 1-4 Final Project Review. Okay, so this is part of our assignment this week is to look at this and learn about what we have to do to complete the final project. So click on the final project guidelines and rubric, okay? And when you do, it'll show this. It just says review the final project guidelines and rubric document, okay? And if you have any questions, post it here. So click on the final project guidelines and rubric link, and when you do, up will appear this final project guidelines for IT 505. So read all this, okay? And we're gonna focus on what you have to do. Now, this is a simulation where you work at an IT company, you're leading a project, and you have to give or provide a plan for a system upgrade, okay? So that's the scenario that you are in. And there are several things you have to do to complete the project. The first one is to write a written report involving some code, and we'll go over that in week 2. The second part is to look at a network configuration diagram that you're given, evaluate it, and then propose how it would be modified to make it more enterprise ready, okay? And then the third part of this project involves a database, and that'll be an access database. You'll examine it, modify it, run some queries, and see what happens. Okay. So then you're going to create a 3-slide presentation using PowerPoint, describing some information assurance topics, talking about it, and that's all discussed here. We'll get into that later during the week on information security. And then finally, for this project, you will create 2 simple 1-page tutorials. They could be in Word or PDF or PowerPoint, whatever you feel comfortable with, discussing how to do these 2 actions here. Okay? So the milestones, we're going to divide this project in several milestones. That way it's not all due in 1 week. So the programming portion, that's the part we talked about up here. Okay, the programming portion of your report, we're going to tackle that in Module 2, Week 2, essentially. The networking and database reports, if you recall, we had a network configuration, and then we had a database portion, parts 2 and 3, respectively. We will handle that in Module 5. Okay, so read all that. And then there is in Module 7, Week 7 of our 10-week course, we're going to work on the presentation, okay, and the tutorials. Those portions of the assignment were discussed up here. The 3-slide presentation, that's in part 4, and the tutorials, that's part 5. Those 2 items will be done during Module 7, okay, Week 7 of our course. And then finally, as you turn in those items, you'll be graded and you'll get some good feedback. And then you will just need to make any corrections that were asked of you, or any recommended corrections, fix and retouch your assignment as needed, if needed, and then in Module 9, that is in Week 9 of our course, you're going to put it all together, make it look pretty, and submit it as your final project, your final assignment, okay? Here are the deliverables. They're, like I mentioned, they're broken down into several weeks. In Module 2, you'll do your programming report. In Module 5, you'll do the networking and database reports. In Module 7, you'll do the PowerPoint presentations. And then in Week 9, you will put it all together and submit it as your final project. And you'll get a grade during Week 10 for that final project that you submitted in Week 9. Please note that if you scroll down a little bit further, you'll see the rubric on how I'm going to grade you, okay? And so take a look at that. If you have any questions, let me know. This sounds like a lot of work, but it's really not that bad. And you don't have to buy any books to do this stuff, to do this work. It's all written material, nothing to buy or purchase. Okay, class, thank you for listening, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks. Bye.